Greetings, men, and welcome to the Core Competency Training Track. I'd like to talk to you this morning about core competencies. Isn't it amazing that almost every occupational career, we expect men to possess, obtain, or maintain a minimum set of qualifications and abilities in order to get hired, retain their position, or perhaps even advance in a specific field? But you ever wonder that we don't expect the same of men who want to walk this Christian walk of faith? We just don't expect much of them. I would submit that we ought to have core competencies in our churches and in our ministry to men where we challenge, encourage, and ignite men to walk in a manner worthy of the gospel. Let me give you a couple examples. First of all, I believe that every man, by fulfilling the Great Commission, should be willing to tell his salvation story. It could be as simple as the blind man in John chapter 9. I was once blind, and now I see, and Jesus made all the difference. Or core competency number 2, every man should understand and fulfill his biblical masculine role. God has called men apart for specific roles, and I believe that is to be a leader, protector, and provider of the family, of the church, in the community, and in the marketplace. A leader, protector, and provider. I think that's man's biblical role, and we ought to strive to understand that and fulfill it. Thirdly, I think every man should be committed to personal Bible study and prayer. If literally there is a truth, we ought to be aware of it, and we ought to be willing to stand firm on it. So every man should be committed to personal Bible study and interacting with the God of the Word. And fourth, and perhaps even most importantly, that every man, I believe, should be committed to meet with other faithful men for encouragement, accountability, acts of service, and prayer, to do life together. If we think about it, David had Jonathan, Peter had James and John, and Paul had Barnabas, and the list goes on. Joshua had Caleb. That we would be men who are focused on meeting with other men to actually walk together in a manner worthy of the gospel. So I would submit that this slate of core competencies is something that we ought to instill in each of our men and men's ministry to encourage men, to ignite them in their faith. And so I hope you will join me on the 22nd of June as we discuss what it means to have core competencies for men of faith, and bring some other men with you. I look forward to meeting with you then.